Okay, I'll tell you what, it feels weird to be sitting in this chair again for the first time in a while. Windows 10 has been out for how long? I think it's been almost a year. So they've had almost a year to figure out what's going on and to fix all of the various bugs that have been mentioned. So we're going to have a look at the current state of Windows 10. To point something out here, this system has got a solid-state hybrid drive in it, and startup speed has decreased. They changed the way that the Windows 10 upgrade process works. If you remember, it used to be a blue circle, and it used to be 3 parts. Now it's just this one. A little bit of an unnecessary change there. That is not for the better of the consumer. Just change for the sake of change. If you hear any wind noise in this video, there's a fan over there that's running. I do apologize for that, but it's hot in here, so. Alright, it has been about 20 minutes, and we're only 13% of the way through. So for something that is supposed to be faster and better than previous versions of Windows, well, it sure is not all that fast. We are now 10 minutes later. That's how far we've gotten. I'm pretty sure that a Windows 7 install is faster than this. A fresh installation, not an upgrade, where an upgrade doesn't even need to replace every single file that's on the computer. Whenever I say that, oh, Windows 10 is so slow, they're like, oh, no, it's not. Oh, it's so fast. Oh, you're so stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Here's your video proof that Windows 10 is obscenely slow. It should not, under any circumstances, take this long to replace maybe a total of 6 system files. So finally, after about an hour of waiting, we are at the login screen. Or the login splash, I guess you could say. I have 2 questions with this. The first question is, what is the user supposed to do here? And the ordinary person, in fact just about everybody, is probably going to be like, well, you just click your mouse, or you click the keyboard key, or you touch the screen. It's so easy. Okay. My second question is, what beginner user is going to know how to do that? And I'll give you the answer. The answer is 0. Not a single one of them is going to be able to do that without assistance. They will not know what to do here. All they can see is a background, a couple of icons down there for status, the time and date, and that's it. There is absolutely 0 indication that you have to press a mouse key. Press a mouse button, press a key on the keyboard, or anything in order to get beyond that. Utterly appalling. Another minor issue that I'd like to point out is if you thought the upgrade was done with that when it hit 100%, well, you're wrong. Oh, and here's another bug. Where did the welcome thing go? It displayed it for a second, and now it's not there anymore. Look at this. More upgrading that it needs to do. What does 100% actually mean? Certainly doesn't mean it's 100% done anymore, I guess. These updates help protect you in an online world. Oh, really? What, may I ask, possibly helped protect me in an online world in this update? We'll have to take a look at the release notes and see what we can find. So finally, we are now at a point where I can take a look at the desktop. Please ignore. The reason why I have my taskbar over there is so I can see it from my seat. Could not reconnect all network drives. Okay. And here's the first bug I'd like to point out. You can see we got a whole bunch of icons here, but there's one missing. Where's the My Computer icon? It was pinned to this taskbar before I upgraded. In fact, I can tell you exactly where it was. It was right before the Task Manager. But now it's the Windows Store that's there. So everything is not where I left it. Major bug right there. They need to fix that. The start menu, another thing I'd like to point out, still takes longer than it did in Windows 7 and Classic Shell in Windows 8. It still takes longer, so that's a flagship feature that offers no improvement over previous versions. One thing they have changed is they've made it now so that all of these applications now show up all the time, thereby reducing the number of clicks that you need to do to get to your applications. I do like that. But this all right over here, this needs to go. There's no reason for these massive, huge tiles to be here. There's no reason for that. Because I can guarantee you that all of these are also present in this list over here. So now they're in two places. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of Linux. That's what it reminds me of. Now I'm going to get the Windows 10 and Linux fanboys on my ass. Well, you know what? It deserves it. What's this up here? Can anybody explain to me just what the freaking point of that is? Let's take a look at our quick access. What have we got here? We've got 2 or 3 pinned items, pictures and videos, which I can understand, desktop, which I can understand, but we've got this thing called Compact. And then it tells me that it's not available. Well, if it's not available, then what is it doing there? It's not a frequently used application or frequently used folder, and yet somehow it shows up under frequent folders, and it doesn't exist. There's an awful lot of high data integrity going on here. LER archives doesn't exist because the network path doesn't exist. And something called new folder 5, which doesn't exist either, is here. What are these doing here? You've got OneDrive, which then pops up this stupid thing, which is another type of dialog box in Windows 10. I don't know what kind of excuse this is. We go under network. Says network discovery is turned off. Please turn on network discovery. I click on OK, and it doesn't do anything. So I've got to go manually navigate to it myself. Lazy, you can call it. You know, you'd think that maybe it would actually bring it up. You know, on mobile devices it does. So why not on Windows 10? Because Windows 10 is a mobile operating system. And anybody that says otherwise is totally wrong. Just totally wrong. I'm sorry about your bad day, but you're wrong. So what else have we got? Well, we've got a bunch of wasted space right here. I'm not quite sure what the deal is with that. We've got an advertisement for a Microsoft program here. What that's doing here, I don't know. I've turned Cortana off like 85,000 times, and it's still on, as you can see. Oh, look at this. Feedback. How satisfied are you with the way text renders on this web page? What web page? What web page? Okay, so there's a bug with the feedback application too. Because there's no web page on here. Unless this is supposed to be a web page. Let's see if the microphone works. I need your permission. Well, okay, I'll give him that. Siri is like that too, and so is Google Voice, so that's understandable. That's not a bug. You got settings, which for whatever reason doesn't bring up the settings thing, but it goes here. Although, if we open up the settings application, I can practically guarantee you that it's already here too. Ah, Cortana and search settings. Oh, it brings it up in there, not in the settings thing. Like I said, bug. Major bug. Because the window's still here. So now, with Windows 10, the massive, issue with having multiple control panels is now exacerbated because all of the control panel applets are not in either of the control panels. Or cannot. Some of them are possibly in no control panel, some of them are in both, and some of them are in one or the other. You're spreading around the settings, you're making it difficult for users to figure out where exactly their help's going to come from. Oh, and let me point something else out on the subject of help. Apparently, I have ChrisMaster1's iVlog channel open, but whatever. So here's the Edge browser. Looks like an ordinary browser with no title bar, Google Chrome, which I think is stupid, but that's not really a bug. Let's open up a new tab. Okay, so somehow, for whatever reason, the URL bar has gone from being right over there to down here. Huh? Here is the settings. Or not the settings, but this is what has replaced the menus. 3 dots. Yeah, that's a useful icon. And we've got all of these things and useful things. Sending feedback, extensions, what's new in settings. Notice something missing. Where's the help? I'll show you where the help is. That's where the help is. Oh, wait a minute. That's not help. That's just a welcome back page. I want to go to an app, let's see, a Metro app. Or sorry, a modern UI app. Or I guess they're not even called that anymore. What are they called now? Unified Desktop Experience or something. I can't remember. But either way, it's so dumb and stupid that they should just still be called Metro apps, because that's what they are. Okay, no files have been opened. We can still open them in full screen. That's a neat feature. But again, there's no menu. It's just this. And then we go to App Commands, and it doesn't even do anything. Let me do that again so you can see that. App Commands. Nothing. What's the point of having a menu option if it doesn't do anything? Okay, that used to work. But I guess even pressing F1 doesn't bring up help anymore. Very, very, very user-friendly there, Microsoft. What's this? Notifications. Oh, look at this. An advertisement for Microsoft services in the Action Center. There are more bugs now in Windows 10 than there were beforehand. You know, a year ago. And it's not just more bugs, it's more substantial bugs. It's more things that are just irritating, that remind me of Linux. You know, just the irritating little things in Linux that bug the crap out of me and make me want to switch back to Windows are the same kind of bugs in Windows 10 that make me want to downgrade the system back to Windows Vista. I'm not kidding. I have strongly considered bringing this thing back down to Windows Vista, because Vista was faster than Windows 10 is on here. No explicable reason. Another thing I would like to point out that is very important to me, probably should be important to everybody else, is upon installing an upgrade, all of the settings have been wiped. So I usually have audio enhancements turned off. They're back on again. I have to go in and turn them off myself. How hard is it to save somebody's settings in an upgrade? When the settings previously existed on the last version of Windows? Stupid. See, this is on too. Fast startup. I don't want that on because it screws around with the system BIOS. It means if I have fast start on, it hibernates the system so I can't go into the BIOS. How dumb is that? Oh, but everybody's got UEFI now. No, they don't. If we would stop with this misguided notion that everybody's got all this brand new hardware, then things would be so much better. Because not everybody wants to have to buy a brand new computer just to experience the new and upcoming when their current hardware is stated as being supported by the operating system. This right here is supported hardware, and it doesn't work? What is wrong with these people? Okay, I'm sorry, this has turned into a rant video. I didn't want it to turn into a rant video. So I think we're just going to conclude this by saying that there's what I currently think of Windows 10. It's still not ready for prime time. It probably never will be ready for prime time. Everybody just wants features and they want them now. And there's no thought that's going into stability, security, usability, whatever. You know what? I'm done. Let's just go take a look at the release notes, if I can even find them. Oh, and notice that this dialog box is absolutely failing to conform with my system color scheme. I just get seriously annoyed every single time I have to use this system for anything. So why are these applications still here if they can't open? That is so dumb. What the hell was that? Oh, but Windows 10 is so much faster. Heh. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay, so what's new? I can't even click any of these buttons. This application is just totally broken. Oh, the application's not responding. That's what's going on. There's a thing over here called Known Issues with Windows 10 Insider PC Preview Build. Narrator does not launch if you toggle switch to on via settings. That shouldn't have been a bug. I'm pretty sure that has worked in the past. So now all of a sudden it's magically broken. And where are all the other bugs that I've mentioned in this video on this list? Because I'm pretty sure that the majority of the stuff that I've mentioned in this video is a bug. Long story short, Windows 10 is still about as buggy as an insectologist laboratory. It is not ready for prime time. That's all. That's it. There's my opinion after a year of using Windows 10.